Hi boys and girls, my awesome artists. This week we're going to work on color. This is a book about color by an author and illustrator named Ruth Heller. She does some pretty amazing stories about language, color, lots of different things. So here we go. Color, 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 color. And again, the title page, it's beautiful. Here we go. From pencils and markers and crayons and chalks, from paints in a tube or a jar or a, look at all those art supplies. One would be so lucky to have that much. Box, come colors, delicious, delectable, lush. Applied by 10 fingers, 2 hands, or a brush to paper or canvas, or less orthodox, to faces and t-shirts. I bet some of you have had your face painted. Then, wait, wrong page, sorry. And fences and walks. Then abracadabra, by hook and by crook. Every one of those colors got into this book. They were printed by printers in 4 inky stages, and now they appear right here on these pages. Stage 1 is yellow, stage 2, magenta, stage 3, like the sea, is cyan blue. Black is stage 4, and the printers are through. The printers are some kind of wizards, I think. In minuscule dots, they apply all the ink. They apply all the ink to a surface that's white. Hocus and pocus, behold, what a sight. Black plus 3 primary colors comprise the only 4 inks any printer applies. We call black a color, but that's problematic. Black should really be called achromatic, and achromatic means free of color. Black is not actually a color. It's void of color. It doesn't have color. So yellows, magenta, and cyan blues are the primary hues that printers use, and the combination of any two produces a secondary hue. The secondary colors seen are presto changeo, orange, purple, and green. Now here are 6 to combine and to mix. The colors continue their magic tricks. And then watch what happens. They have this cool overlay. I'm gonna flip it, watch what happens to the colors. Sorry, I need to get out of the way. Ooh, how cool that is. The colors continue their magic tricks whenever they blend or combine or mix. Look what happens to this one when you go the other way. So there's that one, and then there's that. Pretty awesome. Mix white with a color and call it a tint. But there's no white ink for the printers to print. So, with computers and cameras and lasers and screens, and by other mechanical magical means, they shrink the dots and the colors fade. Mix black with a color and call it a shade. So basically, black doesn't have color, white, they don't have an ink, so they just don't print where there's white. Mix red with a color to make it warm and blue to make it cool. And if you follow this very same rule, blues become warm and reds become cool. Cool colors recede, that means go back for our eyes, and warm colors advance, which means that they move forward in our artwork. Some colors together vibrate and dance. Mix opposites on this wheel of color. The splendor is gone and the color gets duller. Opposites on that wheel you see are always called complementary. But look what happens. So here we have our opposites, and then here they're mixed. And when you mix opposites, it turns brown. When you mix a complementary like purple and yellow, it will create brown. Now stare at the green and stare at the pink and count to 30 and try not to blink. Then shift to the right and stare at the white. The colors have switched. Complementary colors are truly bewitched. It's the weirdest thing I have ever seen. Let's try it. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up to the screen for 30 seconds. You stare at it. And now look at the white. You should see a little pink circle in the middle and a green, heart, and a green heart on the outside. The green is pink and the pink is green. Color is magic. No doubt about that. If you're not convinced, I'll eat my hat. And I'm going to show you, she has some overlays again, and I'm going to show you what happens. So I wanted to show you what happens a little better with this overlay. So we start with our 6. We have our primaries, the yellow, the blue. What happened? Yellow, pink, the pink and the blue, and then we have our secondaries. And she put this page in here that if you overlap them, it totally changes the colors. It's pretty cool. You can see this. It's basically the primary colors there. And then when you have this page, same thing. These are the primaries, the 3 primaries that all printers use. And when you overlay that, it changes the colors. This is where she's eating her hat. These are overlays. So on this top layer, I'm taking off the black. Look what happens. And then the next layer, I'm taking off that blue, the cyan blue. Can you see it in here? Ooh, look what happens to the colors. All I'm left with are yellows and reds. This is exactly what printers do. If I take off that pink, all I'm left with is yellow. So I hope you liked my book about color. Not my book, it's Ruth Heller's book. I enjoyed sharing it. This is how all your books that you read that have colored pages are actually printed. They use this yellow, blue, and pink, and black. That's it. It's kind of amazing. All the colors can be made from that.